When we talk about truly legendary actors, Michael J. Fox is a name that instantly commands respect, not just for the iconic characters he brought to life, but for the courage, humor, and dignity he's shown while living with Parkinson's disease. Even at 64, with a career that already feels timeless, Fox recently made headlines for a startlingly honest admission. There's one person he does not want attending his funeral. Who could that be? And what led him to say it? Stay with us, because this story runs far deeper than it first appears. For more than 40 years, Michael J. Fox has made audiences laugh, cry, and feel understood. From the moment he burst onto television screens as Alex P. Keaton on Family Ties, there was something unmistakable about him. He wasn't just another young star chasing fame. He had impeccable timing, natural charm, and that rare quality that made him feel familiar, like someone you already knew. He could be your best friend, your brother, or that effortlessly cool kid from school everyone admired. Michael J. Fox was born on June 9, 1961, in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. His early life was anything but stable. Raised in a military family, constant moves were part of the deal. New towns, new schools, new faces. Fox was always the outsider, but that experience may have shaped his greatest strength. When you're constantly the new kid, you learn quickly how to connect, how to win people over, how to belong. At just 15 years old, Fox made a decision that shocked his parents. He dropped out of high school to pursue acting full-time. 15, an age when most teenagers are still figuring out who they are, Fox was already betting everything on a dream most people never dare to chase. His parents were understandably worried. Acting careers almost never work out. But Fox packed up, moved to Los Angeles, and survived on determination alone. He was broke, desperately broke. With no furniture, he slept on a mattress on the floor and used a phone book as a pillow. He took whatever work he could find, tiny roles, guest appearances, endless auditions followed by rejection. Years passed like this. Then, in 1982, everything changed. Family Ties turned Michael J. Fox into a household name. But it was Back to the Future that made him unforgettable. What many don't realize is that Fox almost never played Marty McFly. The role was originally given to Eric Stoltz, and weeks of filming had already taken place before producers realized it wasn't working. Stoltz was fired, and Fox was called in, while still committed to Family Ties. What followed was brutal. Fox filmed Family Ties during the day, then rushed to the Back to the Future set at night. He slept just 2 or 3 hours a day, fueled by adrenaline, youth, and the quiet certainty that he was part of something special. When the film was released in 1985, it became the highest-grossing movie of the year. Overnight, Michael J. Fox wasn't just a television star anymore. He was a movie star, one whose name alone could open a film. He was everywhere. Magazine covers, talk shows, award ceremonies. Teen idols came and went, but Fox felt different. That same summer, Teen Wolf hit theaters, giving him 2 major films at once. Hit after hit followed, and by the end of the decade, Fox seemed unstoppable. He had fame, success, and the world at his feet. But life has a way of rewriting every plan. It doesn't care how loved you are, how talented you may be, or how bright your future looks. Sometimes, it changes everything, without warning. In 1991, Michael J. Fox was just 29 years old. He was newly married to Tracy Pollan, whom he had met on the set of Family Ties and married in 1988. The couple had just welcomed their first child, a son named Sam. Professionally, everything was going right. His career was thriving. His future seemed limitless. Then something small and unsettling happened. Fox noticed his left pinky finger twitching. At first, it was barely noticeable, a tiny tremor. He assumed it was stress or exhaustion. After all, he was constantly working, but the twitch didn't stop. It worsened. Soon, his hands began to shake, and he struggled to control them. Expecting reassurance, Fox went to see a doctor. He thought it might be nothing serious. Overwork, nerves, maybe a pinched nerve. Instead, after a series of tests, the diagnosis changed his life forever. You have Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's, a condition associated with old age, something you expected to see in your grandparents, not in a 29-year-old movie star at the height of his career. Fox refused to believe it. He sought second opinions, then third, then fourth. But every doctor told him the same thing. He had young-onset Parkinson's disease, a rare form that strikes people under 50. It was progressive, incurable, and it would slowly steal his ability to control his body. The diagnosis sent Fox into a dark spiral. He began drinking heavily, trying to numb the fear, the anger, and the grief for the future he thought he was losing. He could have kept his illness secret forever, but hiding it took a terrible toll. For 7 long years, Fox told no one outside his immediate family. During that time, he kept working, starring in films and television shows, while fighting to hide tremors that were becoming harder to control. He developed strategies. If his hand shook, he tucked it into his pocket or held onto something. He carefully timed his medication so symptoms would be minimal while filming. He even adjusted his acting style, turning involuntary movements into purposeful gestures. In many ways, it was the performance of his life, pretending to be healthy while quietly falling apart. In 1996, Fox took on the lead role in Spin City, playing the fast-talking deputy mayor of New York City. The role demanded energy, precision, and relentless pace. But Parkinson's was advancing, and hiding it became exhausting. Between takes, co-stars occasionally noticed the tremors. Fox would crack a joke, brush it off, and move on. Behind the scenes, the drinking worsened. Fox has spoken openly about this in interviews and in his books. Alcohol became a way to calm the tremors and dull the constant anxiety. He never missed work. He never showed up drunk. But privately, he was unraveling. Through it all, Tracy Pollan stood by him. Together, they welcomed 3 more children, twin daughters Aquina and Skylar in 1995, and daughter Esme in 2001. Fox has said it was his family that gave him purpose, that gave him a reason to keep fighting. In 1998, he made a pivotal decision. He could no longer live in hiding. Fox publicly revealed his diagnosis during an interview with Barbara Walters. The response stunned him. Instead of pity or rejection, the world embraced him. People admired his courage, his honesty, and his refusal to let the disease define him. In 2000, Fox stepped away from Spin City. His co-stars gave him an emotional farewell, and the show dedicated an episode to his departure. It marked the end of one chapter, but not his career. Fox continued to act, appearing in Scrubs, Boston Legal, Rescue Me, and The Good Wife, often portraying characters dealing with Parkinson's. He proved that his talent remained, even as his physical limitations grew. Living with Parkinson's isn't like recovering from an injury or illness. It's constant, unpredictable. Fox has described it as a companion that never leaves. Some days are manageable, others are overwhelming. The tremors are only the most visible symptom. Parkinson's affects balance, speech, muscle rigidity, sleep, mood, memory, and cognition. Medication helps, but it comes at a cost. Levodopa, the primary treatment, can cause dyskinesia, uncontrollable movements that can be just as disruptive as the disease itself. It's a daily balancing act, finding the right dose, the right timing, trying to maximize the good hours and survive the bad ones. Over the years, Fox has endured countless setbacks, multiple surgeries, a spinal tumor that temporarily left him unable to walk, broken bones from falls, infections and complications. Each time he fought his way back, he's had to give up things he loves. He can no longer play guitar. Typing is difficult. Simple tasks, buttoning a shirt, tying shoes, cutting food, require focus and effort. Yet Parkinson's hasn't taken everything. Fox still has his humor, his sharp mind, his family, his friends, and above all, his purpose, finding a cure. The Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research has become one of the most powerful forces in the fight against the disease. Since its founding in 2000, the organization has funded more than $1.5 billion in research, making it the largest nonprofit funder of Parkinson's research in the world. Fox threw himself into this mission with the same intensity he once brought to acting. He testified before Congress, pushing for greater medical research funding, including support for controversial stem cell research. Using his fame as a tool, he became the public face of Parkinson's, raising both awareness and money on a global scale. The foundation has supported research into genetic causes, experimental treatments, and quality-of-life improvements for people living with the disease. And Fox is no distant spokesperson. He's deeply involved, studying the science, asking hard questions, and constantly pushing researchers for progress and results. Alongside his advocacy work, Fox has written several books chronicling his journey with Parkinson's. Lucky Man, Always Looking Up, A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Future, and No Time Like the Future are candid, humorous, and often heartbreaking. Together, they offer an intimate look at what it means to live with a chronic illness while refusing to surrender hope or humor. Throughout his career, Fox has built lasting friendships in Hollywood, relationships that endured fame, time, and the challenges of his illness. His bond with Back to the Future co-star Christopher Lloyd became a lifelong friendship. The two have reunited many times for anniversaries and charity events, and Lloyd has often spoken with admiration about Fox's resilience and courage. Fox also maintained close relationships with his Family Ties castmates, including Meredith Baxter and Michael Gross, who played his television parents. They have frequently spoken about Fox's professionalism, talent, and work ethic, even as a young actor. On the set of Spin City, Fox formed strong connections as well. His co-stars have said he never complained about his condition, never used it as an excuse, and always brought his best to work, even on days when it was clear he was struggling. Still, Fox understands that Hollywood friendships can be complicated. Many are built on proximity, strong while you're working together but fading once the job ends. Some relationships last a lifetime, others naturally drift away. It's simply the reality of the industry. In recent interviews, while promoting his work and reflecting on life with Parkinson's, Fox has spoken more openly about mortality, and even about his own funeral. To some, this might sound morbid, but for someone who has lived with a progressive disease for more than 3 decades, it's not depressing. It's practical. True to form, Fox approaches the subject with his trademark dark humor. He's joked about who he'd want at his funeral, and, just as playfully, who he might prefer stayed home. In these light-hearted conversations, one name that reportedly came up was Johnny Depp. Fox has been clear that he has nothing against Depp personally, but he's joked that Depp's unpredictable, larger-than-life personality could turn a quiet farewell into a spectacle. Whether showing up in full character, pulling out a guitar, or unintentionally drawing attention, Fox imagined the moment becoming less about remembrance and more about chaos. It's all said with affection, the way longtime friends tease one another. But beneath the humor lies a real sentiment. Fox wants his goodbye to be simple, intimate, and free of drama. He doesn't want a Hollywood production or a media circus. George Clooney is another name Fox has jokingly mentioned. Clooney's effortless charm and magnetic presence, Fox quipped, could shift attention away from the moment itself. If Clooney were there, Fox joked, people might spend more time watching him than reflecting on the life being honored. In Fox's mind, the concern isn't ego, it's intention. He wants his farewell to be about connection, quiet reflection, and love, not headlines, not spectacle. All of this is said in jest, without any real malice. Fox and Clooney have crossed paths many times over the years, and there is genuine mutual respect between them. The humor simply underscores Fox's larger point. When the time comes, he wants his farewell to be about quiet reflection and sincere emotion, not about who attended or what they wore. When Fox speaks seriously about death, setting the jokes aside, What emerges is a deep desire for peace and simplicity. He has spent his entire adult life in the public eye, navigating fame, media scrutiny, and the endless expectations that come with celebrity. For his final goodbye, he wants something entirely different. "I'd like to just not wake up one day," he has said. "That would be really cool. No drama, no prolonged suffering, no long, painful goodbye. Just a gentle exit, preferably in his sleep, surrounded by his family." He doesn't want a massive Hollywood funeral filled with hundreds of attendees, paparazzi lining the sidewalks, and grief performed for cameras. What he wants is something small and intimate, close family, true friends, the people who knew him beyond the spotlight. Fox has also joked that he doesn't want people showing up out of obligation. He doesn't want industry figures attending because they feel they should, because it would look bad not to, or because being seen there benefits them. He wants only those who genuinely care, those who would truly feel his absence. That sentiment is deeply understandable. Fox has spent more than 4 decades in an industry where appearances often matter more than authenticity, where friendliness can vanish the moment you're no longer useful. He knows the difference between real friends and Hollywood friends, and for his funeral, he wants only the real ones. While he has playfully joked about who might not be invited, Fox has been very clear about who he does want there. At the top of that list is his wife, Tracy Pollan. Married since 1988, she has been his anchor through everything: the diagnosis, the struggles, the darkest moments, and the recoveries. Their marriage has endured challenges that would have broken most couples, and it has only grown stronger. His 4 children are, of course, central. His son Sam, born in 1989, his twin daughters Aquina and Skylar, born in 1995, and his youngest daughter Esme, born in 2001. Fox has often said that fatherhood has been one of the greatest joys of his life. Watching his children grow has given him purpose and the strength to keep going. He wants a small circle of friends who have stood by him through the years, the people who call just to check in, who visit without cameras or publicity, who see him as Michael the person, not Michael J. Fox, the icon. He also wants those connected to his foundation, the people who have worked alongside him in the fight against Parkinson's, who share his passion for finding a cure and improving lives. Above all, he wants peace. No wailing, no grand speeches, no theatrical displays of grief. Just a quiet acknowledgement of a life lived fully, battles fought bravely, and rest finally earned. As Michael J. Fox enters what he calls the back nine of his life, he continues to inspire. He's working on a new documentary about his journey and the work of his foundation. He still makes public appearances, though far less frequently. He continues to advocate for research and funding. And when he thinks about death, he doesn't do so with fear, but with calm, practical acceptance. After more than 3 decades living with Parkinson's, death is not an enemy. It's simply the end of a long journey, one he has traveled with a level of courage most of us will never be asked to summon.